So this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was the effects if appreciation. And before we begin, the class was actually dedicated to a couple names, which I will say now and then I'll repeat it at the end. So it's a Refuah Shalema for Yakov, Tzvi ben Leah, as well as Ronen Ben Ovadia and Ronen Ben Rachel, as well as a leuli nishmat for Gabrielle, Messouda, Bat Sarah, and Roger Asher Ben Marcel. May both their neshamas of the ultimate Leah. So the title was The Effects If Appreciation. I'm going to be completely honest, it was a typo. It was supposed to be the effects of appreciation. But once I noticed it, I was like, wait, why did I write if? And then I was like, you know what? This actually could be a better topic. Instead of the effects of appreciation, we'll be talking about the effects if appreciation is a factor. Like if we incorporate the concept of appreciation, what are the benefits and the effects of it? So in that thought process, I was thinking about it and I was like, the truth is Hashem has created us and commanded us to work. But what we would classify work as is anything that pays the bills. That would be, or anything that makes you money. That's considered work. But the truth is that's not true. That isn't true. That's not the definition that Hashem had in mind for work. How can we say that? Because look as time went on and history played its course, that what exactly we're doing to be considered work. For instance, we used to plow fields, we used to grow our own vegetables and stuff. Now people can literally take a picture and post it online and make money. Is that considered work? Did you actually go and do anything? Like, what is it? Like, what is considered work? Is it just the concept of making money? The thing that makes you money? Is that what Hashem had in mind for work? I would say no, because they didn't have bills back then. It wasn't considered bills. They're not, oh, I'm only going to this because I have bills to pay. Like, no, they grew their own fields. They were craftsmen. They were this, they were that. Like, that's work. There was the concept of pleasure as well as productivity. But in this day and age, that's very distant. It's like, what is considered work nowadays? So I think the definition of work definitely got skewed throughout the years, which does make sense. But when one would constantly question themselves in regards to what is work, they would then come to the conclusion of, well, it has to be, obviously, you have to factor the money in. That's what default. But now it's like, all right, let's say there's a concept of fulfillment. I feel fulfilled in doing so and all this stuff, but it doesn't pay the bills. Then the truth is you're not appreciating it. You don't actually appreciate it, and you think that the job is the thing that is bringing you the funds. When the truth is the blessing that Hashem gives you is where the funds are coming from. The job that we do is simply because Hashem commanded us to work. Not because the job is the source of where I'm going to get the funds. No, it's the access to the blessing. Hashem's the one blessing us, but at the same time, Hashem is the one that commanded us to work. So we need to understand, I'm working because God commanded me to, but the funds and the blessings are still from God, not from my job. So if a person feels like they're not making enough money, what's the option? The option is to either quit and go get a better job or go get another job, or to downsize, start lower your expenses. Both show lack of emunah, because both factor in the concept of I need more funds. In order to do so, I need to do something. When the truth is you don't. You are not required to do anything. Rather, have faith and trust that Hashem is the one providing it, and the work that I'm putting in plays absolutely no role in what I'm bringing in return. It's a very difficult concept to understand, because we live in such a physical, materialistic world right now, where if I work and every job pays differently, I would think, oh, if I'm lacking money, I need to go get a better job. When that isn't true. We need to understand the source of the money is Hashem, not the job. And what it comes down to is the lack of appreciation. The truth is we don't appreciate something until we lose it. That's the very known concept. Why is that? Because how else does one instill gratitude in? How does Hashem instill gratitude in us? If we don't have gratitude, how is he going to instill it in us? The truth is, he's going to take away what we do have so that we realize what we do have. Because when we have it, we don't acknowledge it. We don't even realize what we have. We're just focusing on what we don't have. What are we lacking? Because we're constantly comparing to others. But if once we lose it, we're like, wow, I could walk. Wow, I was able to breathe. Wow, I was able to see. But these things we all have. We're blessed to have it every single day. But only once we lose it temporarily do we then start appreciating it, or permanently, unfortunately, God forbid, that's when we start appreciating it. And we have to understand that God is not out here punishing us. Rather, he's instilling gratitude and appreciation in us. There is a cause and effect, and there is benefits and risks in doing so. And the risk is one can see the purpose of what Hashem is doing and then be instilled with gratitude and establish gratitude and appreciation. Or one can get so turned off and frustrated and upset with what Hashem removed from them that they actually turn their back on God. Either way, that doesn't hurt Hashem. That hurts you. You're hurting yourself when you turn your back on God and choose to see it in a negative and personal and inflicting way. When the truth is, it's a growth-oriented way. And all we have to do is establish that vision and have a better understanding of it. Like, we live in this day and age where there's a lot of people that play the game, but there aren't that many people that fully understand how the game is operated. There's two total separate things. I can be good at the sport, but I don't fully understand how the sport is played. And we need to focus on how it's played. How does Hashem operate? What are his guidelines that he puts on himself, and then operate based on those. The truth is, Hashem is not removing because he hates you, because he's angry at you. He's removing because he wants the best for you. Gratitude can only be brought in, can only be applied once it's removed. So if that's the case, understand that. Understand if it's being removed, it's because you weren't appreciating it. How do I avoid it ever being removed? It's constantly have appreciation. If you constantly have appreciation, Hashem does not need to remove it from you. Rather, if anything, he will continue to bless you because he sees that you're completely capable of maintaining and obtaining those things that he's blessing you with. And that was this week's topic of Emunah Mondays. If anyone has any questions, whether or want a better or deeper understanding of it, please feel free to reach out. But I'm going to go ahead and repeat the names. So it's for Refuah Shalema for Yakov, Tzvi ben Leah, and Ronen Ben Ovadia / Ronen Ben Rachel, as well as the leuli nishmat for Gabrielle, Messouda Sarah, and Roger Asher Ben Marcel. May both their neshamas have the ultimate aliyah. See you next week.